ॐ विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यन्निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिरिवोद्भूतं यथा निद्रया यस्साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयं तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः मायाकल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्र्यचित्रीकृतं मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यपि महायोगी वयस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततन्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै Verse 36 अवाच्यवादांश्च बहून् वदिष्यन्ति तवाहिताः निन्दन्तस्तव सामर्थ्यं ततो दुःखतरं नु किम्. So avachyavadamscha bahun. Well, avachyavadam, I mean unutterable things, the things which generally a person should not speak, those kind of things vadishyanti will say avachyavadamscha bahun. And ahitaha, who will say that? Ahitaha means your enemies. Tava ahitaha. Here it has been told, vadishyanti tava ahitaha. Ahitaha means who are not interested in your hitam, who are not interested in your benefit. I mean, those kind of people, well, definitely they are enemies. They will talk about it, and what they will talk about? They will talk about that you withdraw from the war. And so, and they will say what? Nindantaha tava samarthyam nindantaha. I mean your capabilities for fighting, etc. Well, they about that they will censure that you really don't have any capability. And tato dukkataram nukim. Well, is there anything more painful than that for you? There is nothing more painful for you if they speak something like this. And if you hear it, well, you will not like it at all. And therefore don't withdraw, etc. Bhagavan is telling here. I mean, here avachyavadam means, basically he's a man and also a kshatriya. And people will talk that he is like a impotent, napumsaka, neuter. So he's not a male. He doesn't have that capability to fight. Just seeing all the enemies, and well, he has withdrawn from that. And that is why these people will talk. He is like that. That's how in Viratnagar also, when the Pandavas have gone there, so he behaved as if a neutral. I mean, he is a Napumsaka, and therefore they will talk like this about you, and that is not fair for you. And so don't withdraw from the war. Anyway, so we will have to see in this few things. Actually, Bhagavan is giving a certain subtle, taking a note of certain subtle things in this. When Agni Devata gave this Gandiva and some other things to Arjuna, then Arjuna said at that time that if anybody who will who will belittle this, my Gandiva, I will kill him. And then that was his pratigna. And so people definitely will talk about your Gandiva. They will talk about you and your Gandiva also. That, it's, these Gandivas are of no use to this war. And therefore, not only the other people, even the Bhishma, Drona and Duryodhana also, all will talk about this, your Gandiva. And definitely you will not like, because that's your pratigna, that, who will speak who will censure this Gandiva, I will definitely kill him. Then in that case, again you will have to fight. And therefore don't withdraw from this war, because you will not be able to endure whatever they speak about you, about your Gandiva also, and about you also. And not only that, you have a capability of, you have fought with Lord Shiva, and he got this Pashupatastra. And people will talk that, this all, he has gathered all this Gandiva and Pashupatastra and all that, and just for the show. Because when they were to be used, this person has withdrawn from the war. And that is what they will talk about, and you will not like it. And you have, in fact, you have gained all those Astras, Shastras, etc. in order to fight in the Mahabharata war to these great warriors. For that purpose only you have, warriors which are of not a great capability, he could fight simply. He doesn't require this big Astras, Shastras, etc. But he has gained all this. Definitely you have gained it for this purpose only, and especially to fight against Bhishma and Drona. Arjuna was knowing, because Bhishma has done the pratigna to before his father's death, that whoever will rule the Hastinapur, I will support in the war. And therefore Arjuna was knowing that Bhishma will be on that side. It was not a surprise for Arjuna that Bhishma would be on their side. That at the last day he came to know that, Bhishma is not in our side and he is on the other side. No, he was knowing. And Drona, wherever the Bhishma would be, Drona will be. Because they are close relation between them. And therefore that's how you have acquired all this Pashupatastra, etc. to fight against Bhishma and Drona. Because they are the people who are invincible. Bhishma is invincible. Arjuna has no class to fight against Bhishma. Definitely no, not a class. And therefore you did a long penance, and and from Lord Shiva you have gained it to fight against Bhishma and Drona, such great warriors. And now you are seeing them, you are saying that no, I won't fight. What is this? And they say, then before the Mahabharata war, when somebody asked to Bhishma that who will be, who is a great warrior who can fight against this, this 18 Akshohini Sena. Then he said, well, I can fight, even though I am old now, but in a single day I can kill all these 18 Akshohini Senas, this army. And my friend, this Drona can kill in 3 days, but I can kill in 1 day. But still I am very sorrowful that it will take the entire day to kill this 18 Akshohini army. Well, it is, that was Bhishma. That to this Bhishma, Arjuna could not do anything. And therefore Bhagavan is still reminding him Well, you have gained this Pashupat Astra, etc. And it is basically Astra. It is not a Shastra. Astra means which can be thrown. And it is all associated with the mantras, etc. And with the Pashupat Astra is, without Pashupat Astra, this Bhishma could not be killed. Arjuna would have definitely died. If he fights against Bhishma, Arjuna would definitely die. There is no doubt about it. No, everyone was knowing it, including Bhishma was also knowing, and Arjuna was also knowing this, that I cannot fight against Bhishma. And so he needed a very celestial weapons to fight against Bhishma, and that was this Pashupatastra, which he has gained after a long penance. And therefore, Bhagavan is telling, if you are not ready to fight against Bhishma and Drona, then why you have gathered all these Astra, Shastras, etc. Then definitely, Bhagavan is as though reminding him that seeing them, now you are trying to withdraw from the war. It is not fair. People, Bhishma, Drona and all people will definitely will censure your capabilities regarding fighting. And if you listen to that, or even if you come to know through WhatsApp, etc., or through the print media, etc., that all are talking, belittling you, etc., then definitely there is nothing more painful than hearing all these things for you. And therefore think of it. Well, don't withdraw from this war. So up to this is, I have told you as such, till this Bhagwan's single aim is to make Arjuna free from the sorrow. So in the initial verses between 12 and 30, the Bhagavan has given a philosophy, the philosophical angle, and saying that there is no reason to be grieving. And then after 31 to 33, Bhagavan has given from the moral angle, dharmic angle. He has given that you should fight. And from verse 34 to 37, Bhagavan is telling from the standpoint of a practical standpoint, that you will lose your fame, etc., etc., and everyone will talk about you, and you will not gain Swarga, etc. Many things. From the practical point of view, is telling that you should fight, and there is no point in grieving against Bhishma and Drona, because Bhishma, you have gathered after a long penance, you have gathered these celestial weapons, etc., only to kill these great warriors. And now you are withdrawing from the war, seeing them, etc. Well, that is not fair. So this is all a practical point of view, Bhagavan is telling. And now, in that practical point of view, the last verse now we'll have to see. The verse number 37. Here, Bhagavan is showing that you will have a gain, whether you get killed or you will win. Either way, you will have a gain. So that has been told now. Hato va prapsasi svargam jitva va bhokshase mahim tasmad uttishta kaunteya yuddhaya krita nishchayah. Hato va prapsasi svargam. Even if you are destroyed, well, hataha means destroyed. Han dhatu. Han means to kill. Hataha, killed, destroyed. Prapsasi swargam. Tvam swargam prapsasi. You will gain heaven. Jitva va bhokshase mahim. Even if you become victorious, you will win the war. Well, bhokshase mahim. You will enjoy the world. You will have all the enjoyments of this world. And tasmad, therefore, He Kaunteya, he Arjuna, Uttishta, get up, and Yuddhaya Kritanishchaya, get up having resolved to fight. Kritanishchaya means having resolved to fight, please get up. So this is how Bhagavan is telling. Now, please, etc. is not that I am putting, but because Uttishta is basically Agnya. That is not a tense as such. It's a mood, and they call it as an imperative mood. Imperative mood means, it is agnya, commandment. It's a command. Like bring water, so jalamanaya, etc. Like that. It's a mood. In Sanskritam there are tenses and moods. Both kinds of things are there, but this is a mood. It's called imperative mood. So uttishta, tvam uttishta. So it's a second person singular. And because Bhagavan is addressing to Arjuna. So tvam uttishta, you get up, having resolved to fight. Krita nishchaya uttishta, having resolved to fight, get up. This is the meaning of the verse. Now we'll have to see in the detail. Now Bhagavan is telling that whether you win or whether you while fighting if you are killed, either way you have a gain. That's what it says. And so if you give up the war, well, then you will have a visible and invisible both loss. Visible loss and invisible loss. If you withdraw from the war. What is a visible loss? Visible loss is that you will lose your name, fame, etc. And you will hear all this censure, etc. And that you cannot stand it, because Bhagavan has told akirtihi maranadati richyate. It is even worse than the death. Bhagavan said, listening about, you're losing your name and fame, etc. For a Kshatriya, it is even worse than the death. And you will hear all this kind of things which avachya vadamsya bahun. People will talk so rubbish. I mean, people will, talk which should not be spoken. Those kind of things they will speak about you. And therefore, visible loss is there if you withdraw. That's the first thing. Invisible loss also is there if you withdraw. What is invisible loss? In terms of adrushta. Well, definitely this is a nitya karma. I mean, this is a karma, varnashram dharma for you. It's a varna dharma basically. And it's fight is something which is supposed to be done by Arjuna in this situation for a Kshatriya. And if he really, withdraws from this fight, from this war, definitely he will gain narakam. And that is adrushta. And therefore, either way he will be lost. Visible, invisible. Both way he will be. Invisible fruit means this kind of a thing. He will incur papam also. Bhagavan has told this also. Papam avapsasi. So if you don't follow dharma, definitely you will incur papam. The result of papam could be pratyavaya, or result of papam, both kinds of papams are there. Result of papam could be either in terms of naraka, etc. Either way. Okay, so this is, if you won't fight, this is the situation. If you fight, well, then you will have a visible gain and invisible gain also. Either way. What is a visible gain? Definitely, because visible gain is he will gain. Suppose if he fights and he is killed, let us say, he is killed, and if he is killed, he is going to get swarga. Bhagavan has very clearly told, yadruchaya chopapannam swargadvaram apavrutam sukhinah kshatriyah partha labante yuddham idrusham. This kind of a war is only kshatriya, sukhinah kshatriyah, lucky kshatriyas, very fortunate kshatriyas get this kind of a war. And because swargadvaram apavrutam, you will enter into the swarga with open gates. Apavrutam means with open gates. You will enter swarga without Ishvara is a karmaphala data. This is not a statement like of a politician. He is a karmaphala data, and very sensible statement it is. And he is talking that you will gain swarga. If you are killed, well, if you are fighting and if you are killed, then definitely you are going to get swarga. And well, kirti, etc. also will be there. That's another thing. But, if you are not killed, let us say, if you are not killed, then definitely you will gain, you are going to win then. And if you are going to win, then definitely you will get all this mahim, boksha se mahim. You will get all enjoyments, worldly enjoyments you will get. You say that I am not interested in worldly enjoyments, but at least you will get a great opportunity for serving the people of the kingdom. And Kshatriya's main job, yesterday I told you, Saturday, that the main job of a Kshatriya or a ruler is to protect the people. Call it as a prajapalanam, protecting the people, protecting the lives of the people in any way, either protecting from a visible, invisible enemy he is supposed to protect, or protecting in terms of, he is not able to sustain his life, he doesn't have a bread. Well, definitely he should provide an opportunity to earn the bread. And until then he has to sustain, he is supposed to sustain the life of the people of the country. And therefore, definitely you will get a very great opportunity of serving the country, and that will result into a great punyam, and that punyam will definitely translate again into Swargam. So either way I mean, if you fight, definitely you will have you will have a gain only, visible, invisible, every gain you will have. And you were telling Dhartarashtraha Rane Hanyuhu Tanme Kshema Taram Bhavet. Well, even Dhartarashtraha, these people, Duryodhana, etc. Even if they kill me, it is better. But I don't want to fight. Don't say that, and don't put into that practice. So because without fighting the war, if they kill you, don't expect any good result, visible or invisible. Definitely will lose your name and fame. That you see, the Duryodhana, etc. has killed Arjuna. Arjuna does not have any strength. He was talking very big and he was having a big weapons and everything. And there was all myth that he was a great warrior. That is just a myth. See how the Duryodhana, etc. has killed him. So don't say that Dhartarashtraha Rane Hanyuhu Tanme Kshemataram Bhavet. This is better that they will kill me, but I don't want to fight. Don't say that. So Bhagavan is, this all is implied. So, and in the war, especially this, there are only two things: either you win or you die. In those days, there was no retreating from the war. No retreating. You will have to fight to the death. And still, if you cannot win over them, well, you will die. So there is nothing. No one comes back, and their wives also. The men get killed in the war. Their wives also will not welcome them. Definitely, they will not welcome them if they come home without. Getting defeated. If you come home, no one would welcome them. You will have to fight till the death. That is how is there. Anyway, so this is Jitva va bhokshase mahim. Well, Jitva, having won the war, definitely mahim bhokshase means you will get all worldly enjoyments. But we know for sure that he is not interested in worldly enjoyments. Swamiji, how can you say he must be interested? No, he has declared in the chapter 1. And if you read Mahabharata, it is very clear. All the Pandavas were ready with a single house with 5 rooms. They were ready. So not that he was really wanted to enjoy the kingdom and the enjoyments of the kingdom. He was not interested at all. He has made clear in the first chapter itself. And therefore, even if he would have won, definitely he would become a ruler, but then he would definitely serve the people of the country. And that's a big punya he will get. Because being a Kshatriya, that is his main duty. And as per the Dharma Shastra, if he does his duties, well, he will definitely gain a very good life later. After the Prarabdha is over, he will gain Swarga, etc. And as such also, there is another thing we are going to see in this, because the word Swarga is a very technical word here. Anyway, so Tasmad Uttishta Kaunteya, hey Kaunteya, you are a son of a Kunti, and think of your lineage. In the whole lineage, have anyone withdrawn from the war and come out? Well, nobody has done this, and therefore, thinking of your lineage, just get up and fight the war. That's what he told. Now, only part which we have to discuss in this is Hatova Prapsasi Swargam. Now, what kind of a Swargam Arjuna gets? That's a big thing. Because this word Swargam appears here and there so much. Not that only in Karma Kanda, Vibhaga, even in Upanishad word Swargam comes. And then it makes us really, we will surprise. Because we always tell this Swarga is a Karma Phala and you gain through Jyotishtoma, the Yajna Agadi, if you do, you will get it. And that is a Karma Phala will definitely is Anityam, etc. And then why Upanishad talks about Swarga, etc. So we'll have to see that meaning. What is Swarga, etc. We'll have to. Now, before I go into that, I would like to give you the definition of Swarga given in somewhere in this place. Yanna dukkhena sambhinnam nachagrastam anantaram abhilashopanitancha Tatpadam swaha padaspadam. Swaha. You know this mantra, in the Gayatri mantra also this is there. Bhuhu, Bhuvaha, Swaha. Bhuhu. This particular loka is called Bhuloka. Prithvi Loka, Martya Loka. Then Bhuvaha is a Antariksha Loka. And Swaha is a Swarga Loka. This is how it is. So, here, Swaha, in this verse, instead of Swarga, they have written Swaha. Swaha pada aspadam. Aspadam means a object. I mean, or a meaning. The meaning of the word called Swaha. Swaha means Swarga. What is the meaning of the word Swarga? They say yanna dukkhena sambhinnam. Yat na dukkhena sambhinnam. Sambhinnam means interrupted. Dukkhena sambhinnam na. The Swaha or the Swarga is one which cannot be interrupted by Dukkham. I mean, it is Sukham, but the Sukham which cannot be interrupted by Dukkham. That is the first definition. And then by this definition itself, the popular meaning of Swarga goes. Which generally Karmakanda, in the Karmakanda, they talk about Swarga. That Swarga has gone. That is Devaloka. I am talking about Devaloka, which is gained by Jyotishtoma, etc. Yajna. If through the Yajna you gain that, the Swarga, that is called Devaloka, that meaning has gone by this, just a part of the definition. Why? Because in that Swarga, it is always interrupted by Dukkham. Devaloka, the Sukham is there, but it is interrupted by Dukkham. How can you say, Swamiji? So many times that Swarga has been attacked by the Asuras. And when it is attacked by Asura, in fact, there the Devatas always have a fear of attack from the Asuras. And it is happened so that the Indra himself has become a donkey in the Swarga. And all the Devatas also run here and there. And several times they have run away. And then they take refuge in the Lord's feet, and then please, these Asuras have driven away us from the Swarga, and then Bhagavan does something and they again are restored there. So this Swarga, which is Devaloka, is always interrupted by Dukkha. Anyway, so then second, Nachagrastam Anantaram. Well, Nachagrastam Anantaram. Now, then somebody, but just a minute. This Swarga means Sukham, which is interrupted by Dukkham, is Devaloka. Then Sukham, which is not interrupted by Dukkham, is what Swarga? That is a Sukham of deep sleep. Deep sleep Sukham is not interrupted by Dukkham. So far, 1 hour, 2 hours, 8 hours, 5 hours, where if you sleep, all those hours you have just Sukham. Not even an iota of a Dukkham. I am talking about deep sleep state. A deep sleep state and the Sukham in the deep sleep, happiness in the deep sleep state is like this. Yadna dukkhena sambhinnam. There is no iota of a Dukkham. And, well, afterwards what? Nachagrastam anantaram. Nachagrastam anantaram. Anantaram, later. Grastam, but later that Sukham is attacked by Dukkham. Then this deep sleep state happiness is not that. Because when you wake up, definitely due to ignorance only you wake up. Due to ignorance the prarabdha wakes you up. And therefore, all your karmas wake you up. And therefore, as you wake up, the Sukham goes. So, Grastam, it has gone. It is destroyed. Anantaram, later, when you wake up. So far you sleep, that happiness is really not interrupted by Dukkha. That's correct. But when you get up, it goes away. And therefore, this Swargam is not even the happiness gained in deep sleep state. Right? Not gained in deep sleep state. And Abhilashopanitanja, the third part. Abhilashopanitan. Just by desiring itself you gain it. That Sukham is Swargam. Just by desiring. Abhilasha means a desire. Upanitam comes. And that is the Atma Sukham. Just by desire means as you become aware of your nature, when you are clear that you are happiness, fullness, etc., or you are limitless, well, by thinking itself you gain Sukham. Generally, for gaining the happiness, you will have to put lot of efforts. When the desired object you gain, then you get a Sukham for few minutes. But when you know for sure that even in the moments of joy, or even in a deep sleep state, what happiness I am getting is none other than the Sukham of Atma alone. Then in that case, well, definitely one who gains this Atma Sukham, which is nothing but, without any interruption, because it's a nature, not interrupted by Dukkham, not, that is being a nature, it is not, Grastam, it is not attacked by even later also by Dukkham, and Abhilashopanitam. As you become aware of your nature, you find that you are limitless. That itself brings you tremendous joy. Means effortless. Abhilashopanitam means effortlessly. Just by desiring itself, you gain the Sukham means what? Effortless. No effort is put. Generally, desire and then the effort you have to put, and you gain a desired object, and then you gain happiness. So, Abhilashopanitancha tat padam. That padam, that is the state. Once you know yourself that you are limitless consciousness or you are fullness, well, that is the real Swarga. The moksha is the real Swarga. But Swamiji, this kind of a thing you are telling, but where in Upanishad anyone has talked about it? Yeah. It is there. In Kenopanishad, it has been told that Apahritya papmanam anante swarge loke jye pratitishthati. So this comes in Kenopanishad at the almost end. In the mantra it comes. Apahritya papmanam means papmanam, so all the papas, when they go away. When they go away, when you know the Atma, definitely, Sarva Karmani Bhasmasat Kurude, Bhagavan said, all the karmas burnt away. So all this, the papas are burnt away. Well, definitely, Anante Swarge Loke Jye. Itself, Upanishad is very clear. When it uses the word Swarga, it is very clear. They have used two adjectives for the Swarga, which makes a difference from the popular Swarga. Devaloka. Anante, the very first word is Anante. Well, that Loka, Swarga Loka, which is Devaloka, is not Ananta. It is not limitless. It is a born of a karma phala, and definitely it is Santa. Any karma phala cannot be limitless. It is always limited. So, Anante, Swarge, Loke, Jye, that's another one. Jye. This is Jyeha and Jeshtha. This is a degree. Prashasyaha, Jayan, Jeshtha. This is how it is. Prashasyaha, praiseworthy. Jayan, more praiseworthy. Jeshtha, most praiseworthy. So this is Swarga, which is limitless and which is more praiseworthy compared to the Swarga, which is Devaloka. Pratitishthati. This Jnani, one knows that Atma is Purnaha. Well, he gets established in this Swargaloka, which is limitless and which is more praiseworthy or which is more desirable. What is more desirable? And you see, more desirable is not a place. Devaloka is a place, basically. And place is not desirable. The Sukham gained in a place is desirable, right? And therefore, well, that place is not totally free from the Dukkham. And this is Actually, the desirable thing is Sukha alone is a desirable thing, and this is limitless Sukham. He is established, this Jnani is established in this limitless Sukham. Aparutya Papmanam, I mean, giving up all this, I mean, becoming free from all the papas. He gained this, and therefore the meaning of Swarga, the other meaning of Swarga is Moksha Sukham. And that is, the definition also fits into that. Now the question is, this our great Arjuna, where will he go? He will go to Devaloka. Bhagavan is telling he hatova prapsasi swargam. You will gain swarga. Once if you are killed, if you are destroyed in a while fighting, you will go to swarga. Which swarga? Now there are some people says, well, so good. Because in the Karmakanda they have described a yaga, Jyotishtoma yaga, that's a sacrifice. One who performs that sacrifice will go to Devaloka, that is Swarga. Same way here Arjuna also is sacrificing himself in the fight. Well, he is offering himself, he will get killed in the process, and therefore he will also gain Devaloka. That's one view. The other people says no, he will gain moksha. Ayyo, how will he gain moksha? How can he gain moksha? Because there is another meaning of Swarga, right? We have seen. He will gain moksha. No, Swamiji, this is not correct. Well, we'll have to see that. In Smriti, for the warriors, there is, for the warriors, I mean, they have equated the warriors of the Dharma Yuddha with the sannyasis. It's a very beautiful thing. Dvavetau purushau loke suryamandala bhedinau parivrad yoga yuktasya ranecha abhimukham hatah. It has been told, well, there are two types of purusha, I mean two types of people. Well, they can go to Aditya Mandalam. That's a path given for the people who are going to Brahmaloka. That's described in chapter 8 of Bhagavad Gita. Agnir Jyoti Rahas Shuklaha Shanmasa Uttarayanam Tatra Prayata Gachanti Brahma Vido Janaha. Like that it has been told. Well, that Agnir Jyoti Rahas Shuklaha. So they will, these people, the sannyasis, who have given up, please understand this, I am comparing now sannyasis and these warriors. Why for both of them a special place is decided in the universe called Brahmaloka. And once they reach to Brahmaloka, definitely moksha they are going to gain after gaining knowledge. And so this is how it has been described here. And well, if they are going to get moksha, they are going to get Swarga. Bhagavan does it, maybe Bhagavan means that Swarga also. So Agnir Jyoti Rahas Shuklaha, this is it has been told, after departing from this body, they go to Agni Devata, and then they go to Jyoti Devata, and then they go to the deity of the day, and then they go to deity of the fortnight, and then they go to deity of the month, and deity of the Ayanam, and deity of the Samvatsara, etc., deity of the year, and like that they will reach to Aditya Mandalam. And well, Surya Mandala Bhedino, and from there they will go to Brahmaloka. All Upanishads talk about it, including Chandogya also talk about it. I am not going in detail, but Bhagavan describes there are two margas. Well, the people who perform Yajna Agadi, Vedic karmas, etc. here and follow Dharma, etc. Well, they gain Swarga, and for them there is a special path. And the other people, these sannyasis and these warriors, etc. Well, they go through a different route and they gain Brahmaloka. That's a different route because the place is different, and so they go also through different routes. Anyway, so this we call it as a Uttarayana Marga, etc. And then Shuklagati, and they go to Brahmaloka. So because where is sannyasi and where is the warrior? But no, both have some similarity, and their attitude also is similar. So we'll have to see that. Anyway, so here it has been told this. The sannyasis, etc. And they also give up everything and living a life of a penance, etc., and contemplating, etc. And their whole life is meant for the samashti. Well, for the samashti, for the universe. That is, therefore, they gain, even if they won't gain knowledge here, they are supposed to do Shravana Manan Nididhyasana after taking sannyasa. But suppose they have not done, and then still they go to Brahmaloka, and there they gain the knowledge from Brahmaji, etc., and they become free. That's called Krama Mukti. Krama Mukti means the Mukti comes in a stages. The liberation in stages is called Krama Mukti. So that is what he is going to gain. That's what it says. And this person, Ranecha Abhimukham Hataha. Ranecha Abhimukham. Abhimukham means facing. Rane, in the war. The soldier which faces this Dharma Yuddha, he and gets killed, Hataha, gets killed. Well, he will also go through the same path. The path which, through which our sannyasi has gone. Through the same path he also goes and goes to Brahmaloka. He also gains knowledge from Brahmaji and becomes free. He gets a moksha. That kind of a swarga Arjuna will get. That's what Smriti also tells it. So it has been told here. And now, somebody or one Mahatma wanted to know how the gati which Shukla gati, etc., Brahmaloka, this sannyasi gets, how can a warrior get it? So he asked in Mumbai, in Kulaba, there is a big place for a navy. It's a navy headquarter, etc., I think. And this sannyasi, well, he inquired with them that really is it so that so that I can compare with the sannyasis, our sannyasis. I would like to, he asked to few warriors what kind of a life they live. Definitely they said, we live a life of a penance even when there is no war. Even there is no war, we have to live a life of penance, except we come here to our home taking the leaves. That time we have some enjoyment, but when we are on the front, even there is no war, we live a life of a penance. And because all the time protecting the country. And you can imagine right now the situation which is going on with the border of Pakistan, and the way they are, and when they're posting, etc., if you see them, it's just penance only. They have to stand means for 18 hours, 12 hours, 13 hours, and all that. Sometime rain comes and sometime all the snowfall and what not. And if suppose a war is declared, this is all that Mahatma has described. Suppose a war is declared, in that case, definitely they will have to think of only country. They will have to give up as though their relation with their, suppose he must have wife and children and whatnot, parents and whatnot. He has to forget everything. He has to he has to forget money also. He might have earned a lot of money, but when he moves towards the border, and definitely he has to forget everything, and only he has to keep in mind the protection of the country, samashti. Like the sannyasi, when he leaves everything and goes, including sannyasi also gives up his body. When before the sannyasa is given, there is one ritual in which he does a shraddham and pindadanam of his own body. So he also gives up his own body. And he gives up, of course, a relationship and money and everything. And lives a life of a penance. And definitely, Tyaga is also there. And the warrior also gives up money, relationship, everything. And ready to give up his life also. And suppose he gives up his life, definitely he gets the same gati as of a sannyasi. That is what has been discussed. And so there is no other means for gaining this moksha other than this. I mean, in a relative sense. And that is why whenever a sannyasi comes, when you chant a particular mantra in order to welcome him. And that mantra you know very well, and I am going to little explain it also. Na karmana na prajaya dhanena tyage naike amrutatva manashuhu parena nakam nihitam guhayam vibrajate yad yatayo vishanti. Well, na karmana na prajaya dhanena karmana amrutatvam nasti. Well, amrutatvam manush tyagena eke. Eke means some, few people who are really doing this kind of a renunciation. Well, they amrutatvam anashuhu, they gain amrutatvam, they gain moksha. Na karmana, karma does not give you amrutatvam, moksha. Well, all people are doing karma, basically. But just by doing karma, no one gets amrutatvam. And then na prajaya. Suppose a person, he has done a lot of karma and he is a grihastha and he is having a big family, etc. He has that kind of a satisfaction that I have a very big family, I have lived my life, etc. But well, he doesn't get moksha because praja cannot help. The children, progeny cannot help you for gaining moksha. They at the base, they can come up to the smashana. They can come up to, the place and they will put you in the fire, etc. But afterwards, no one can come along with you. So, and na prajaya, na dhanena. Well, wealth cannot, that's what even our Maitreya said, amrutatvasya nashasti vittena. Yajnavalkya told to, Yajnavalkya told to Maitreya in Maitreya Brahmanam in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, amrutatvasya na ashasti vittena. Oh Maitreya, forget about the amrutatvam if you want to achieve through vittam, through the dhanam. Well, even vittam cannot, the dhanam cannot help. Then what will help in amrutatvam? Tyagena, tyaga only, etc. I mean, basically it has much more meaning, but we will not discuss right now. Tyagena eke, some of the people, well, the sannyasis, etc., mere by tyaga, because they have done it, a tyaga of everything. Basically, tyaga, as Puja Swami says, not physical as such. From your mind, you have given up everything. Because knowing something much more important thing, you have, as though from your mind, they have been dropped. They are dropped basically from your mind. They don't have a priority in your life. Dhanam is not a priority, praja is not a priority, karma is not a priority. That's all. That's called tyaga. And well, tyagena eke, some of this, like this sannyasis, amrutatvam anashuhu, anashire, they gain amrutatvam. And so warrior has a life throughout till he retires. He has a life of penance. He has a life of tyaga, renunciation. He doesn't wear these clothes, but he is ready to even sacrifice his body. He is ready to sacrifice. He has, in fact, most of the years on a duty, he hardly only some calls, etc. He doesn't have much sukham there. And well, so like sannyasis, the warriors also on the front. Well, our army people also, you can say, Swamiji, but if suppose there is no war and if they die, then will they get Brahmaloka or not? No. Because clearly the Smriti says, Rane abhimukham hatah. Rane cha abhimukham hatah. Abhimukham. Facing the war, Rane. Facing the war, if you are killed, then you get. Well, so just means you are recruited as a soldier and there is no war in between throughout his career and then he gets Brahmaloka. No. It's not so. Here it has been very clearly told, hatah, killed and abhimukhe means facing the war. Not he is killed because he was running, looking at the enemies, he ran. And no, then that is not the case. He faces, like our people in Jammu Kashmir right now, all should be really, they are worthy like, our sannyasis. And they are eligible to gain Brahmaloka. And that kind of a, Arjuna, you may get this kind of a Swarga. You are talking Brahmaloka and you are a very Swarga. Brahmaloka means you will gain moksha after knowledge. That is the real Swarga. That's the meaning I have given you before, that yenna dukkhena sambinnam nachagrastham anantaram abhilashopanitancha tatpadam swahapada aspadam means that swaha means Swarga is, real Swarga is this, in which there is no iota of dukkha. You become free. So this meaning we will have to take here. And then let's go to next verse. Sukha dukkhe same krutva labha labhau jaya jayau tato yuddhaya yujjasva naivam papam avapsasi. Before I go into that, I would like to little clarify. But Swamiji, suppose Arjuna did not want moksha. Sir, it is not the question, because he has asked in the second chapter, beginning itself, Shreyam. He has asked for the Shreyas from the Bhagavan, and that Shreya is nothing but this moksha only. And therefore he has already asked for a Shreyas, and Bhagavan as though is telling that, well, if you fight the war, you will open the gate for moksha. You will open the gate for Sarga, means that is moksha, you are opening the gate, and therefore don't turn away from this fight. So I'm just clarifying it. And therefore uttishta, therefore get up, krita nishchaya yuddhaya, for fighting, make resolve now and get up and start fighting. With this verse we have completed even the practical point of view the Bhagavan is giving arguments from the practical standpoint that Arjuna should fight the war. There are three standpoints I have already talked to you, from verse 12 to 30, philosophical standpoint, from 31 to 33, from the moral standpoint, ethical standpoint, and from 34 to 37, it's a practical standpoint. Bhagavan is constantly giving, arguing to Arjuna and trying to explain him, trying to convince him for fighting the war and making himself free from the grief. Basic thing is, he should be free from the grief. But that's basically from the standpoint of Atma, philosophical standpoint. But from other standpoints also, Bhagavan is telling that you should not grieve and fight the war, because you will have a gain only. Even if you are killed, you will have a gain. If you are going to win, then also you will have a gain. And therefore, there is nothing to worry. And you have resolved for fighting against Bhishma and Drona. There was your resolve, and you have gained this all celestial weapons. And now seeing them, why you are becoming like this? And and if they censure you, if you go away and if they censure you, will not be able to listen it. Well, it will be akirtihi maranadapi richyate. Well, it is even worse than to lose the name and fame for a Kshatriya like you, who has a big name, is even worse than the death. So it is better to get killed even in the war. That's much, much better. And Bhagavan has shown so many advantages, all practical standpoints. Anyway, now this from verse 38. Verse 38 is a seed of Karma Yoga. And that Bhagavan is going to make clear from verse 39. Very clearly Bhagavan is making two divisions, two topics. The division between the two topics in verse 39, Bhagavan himself will make clear. And only two topics are there in Bhagavad Gita. One is a Yoga Shastra, other is a Brahma Vidya. Or Yoga Shastra means Karma Yoga, Brahma Vidya means Jnana Yoga. So these two topics are there. And then Bhagavan himself in verse 39, he is going to talk about it, that there is clear-cut division. But here in this verse 38, there is a seed of Karma Yoga. So Sukha dukkhe same krutva labha labhau jaya jayau tato yuddhaya yujjasva naivam papam avapsasi. Sukha dukkhe, pleasure and pain. Labha labhau, gain and loss. Jaya jayau, victory and defeat. You should be saying to be the same, making this same, taking them as same, taking to be the same. What? Pleasure and pain, gain and loss, victory and defeat, taking them to be the same. Well, tato yuddhaya, you just prepare yourself for the battle. Well, naivam papam avapsasi. Well, you will not gain any sin. This is a very big thing. We don't bother too much. But Ishvara himself tells that fighting this war and killing all these people, Arjuna is going to kill several people. And still Bhagavan says that you will not gain even an iota of papa. Means what? It's a very, very big thing. On the one hand, Veda says that if you even hurt a person through your mind, you will incur papa. Through your speech, if you hurt somebody, you will incur papa. Through your actions, if you hurt somebody, you will incur papa. Same Bhagavan, who has, that is his all his speech. That is his all the words of the Veda are nothing but his speech. And the same Bhagavan is telling here that to get up and fight, you will not incur even an iota of papa. Is something. So this is how interpretation of dharma is a very, very essential thing. Even though hinsa is involved and no papa. And at other place, a little bit of himsa papa. Even at the level of a mind, if you hurt somebody, or if you think of some, not good, bad about somebody, well, definitely you will incur papa. So this is a very big thing. Anyway, but what is the seed here of a karma yoga? Bhagavan has defined karma yoga in this particular chapter, and the two definitions are there of karma yoga. The first definition is samatvam yoga uchyate. The sameness is karma yoga. Is yoga means that is karma yoga. Sameness towards all this, and that has been told here. Like, taking pleasure and pains to be the same, taking gain and loss to be the same, taking victory and defeat to be the same. And well, so Bhagavan is talking about karma yoga only. And the other definition, of course, which is not here, relevant, and that is yoga karmasu kaushalam. Yoga, that also, both definitions are of yoga. Yoga means here karma yoga, and both the definitions will appear in this chapter only, and we'll see that. But here, one definition as though Bhagavan is, implanting as a seed. Karma yoga seed is here. And the most thing is, taking them same means you will have, why we are not taking them as a same? That's a very first question. Why we don't take this pleasure, pain, and this gain and loss, victory and defeat? Why we don't take it same? We have to think first that thing. And the reason is basically due to our raga dvesha only. Due to our likes and dislikes, we can't take them as a same. So it automatically implies that karma yoga is a therapy to treat our likes and dislikes. They call it, Pujya Swamiji calls it as a neutralization of likes and dislikes. Neutralization of likes and dislikes does not mean the absence of likes and dislikes. Neutralization of likes and dislikes basically means your likes and dislikes, still they are there in your mind, but won't bother you, won't become obstacle in your in your spiritual path. That's all it means. Neutralization means you will as though take away the, the what we call a sting from the raga dvesha, because that sting was basically bothering you. So you take away that. Like a snake is there, and you take away that a portion from his mouth which has a poison. So if you take away, then still the snake will remain, but it would not bother you. So it will not be a source of fear for you. So same way here, raga dveshas also have a tendency to make our personality poisonous. And therefore, from the snakes of this raga and dvesha, we should remove a sting or that poison, the portion which is poisonous. Well, then definitely those raga dveshas are basically bhushanam, natu dushanam. Natu, they are called bhushanam. Then those raga dveshas one can keep and one can enjoy also through raga dvesha. Raga dveshas are nothing but desires. I am going to talk about it. Raga dveshas are desires. That's all. So, but what is raga dvesha? Let's say that. It is going to come, but I will tell you because we will finish now. Raga means I want to gain something. One. Or what I have gained, I want to retain. This is called raga. Now you can see very well in both the definition, one word is common, want. I want to gain and I want to retain what I gain. So I want to. So that is raga, desire. I have a specific type of desire. And dvesha also is a desire. Dvesha also is a desire. I want to avoid something. One. And I want to get rid of something. That's another. And that is all called dvesha. That also there is a want. I want to avoid. I want to get rid of. Means I have already with me. Sometimes something is coming and you want to avoid. That's one thing. But suppose something has come to you, it is with you and you want to get rid of it. There also the want is there. And therefore raga dveshas are basically desires. Desire is a glory of a human being. All you and me are right now talking, sitting for 1,000 kilometers away. All this is possible because of human desire. If you look around in your house, you will find it's all basically is the human desire's precipitation. Whatever you have right now is due to human desire. And therefore, desire is not a wrong thing. We should know very well. Desire is not a wrong thing. But if we are, the desires have a hold over me, that's a problem. If desires are basically held by me, no problem. If desires have a hold over me, all the problems. And therefore, Karma Yoga is a therapy which converts the desire which has a hold over you, so strong they are. Karma Yoga is a therapy to convert such strong desires into the desires on which you have a control. You are not under the control of desires. You have a control of the desires. That's what Karma Yoga provides. And we'll see that further in the verse, etc. Tomorrow. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.